Hello, you're watching weekly highlights program on Azərbaycan Television with the major developments of the week. I am your host, İlham Məmmədov. Now first, let's take a brief look at some of the top stories of this week. An international forum on the theme Facing the New World Order was held on April 9th at Ada University with the participation of President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham. The opening ceremony of the Antalya Diplomacy Forum was held on April 11th in the Turkish city of Antalya. President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva participated in the ceremony. On April 8th, President İlham Aliyev received Farzaneh Sadek, Minister of Roads and Urban Development of the Islamic Republic of Iran and co-chair of the Azerbaijan-Iran Intergovernmental Joint Commission on Economic Cooperation. President İlham Aliyev praised the recent intensive reciprocal visits by high-level delegations from both Azerbaijan and Iran, noting that these trips provide a valuable opportunity to strengthen the friendship between the two countries and further enhance bilateral cooperation. The head of state commended the holding of a meeting of the Azerbaijan-Iran Intergovernmental Joint Commission on Economic Cooperation during Farzaneh Sadek's visit, emphasizing that the Commission's agenda includes significant projects aimed at fostering collaboration in areas such as economics, trade, energy and transportation. Farzaneh Sadek conveyed the greetings of Masoud Pezeshkian, President of the Islamic Republic of Iran, to the Azerbaijani leader. President İlham Aliyev expresses gratitude for the greetings and asked the minister to extend his regards to the President of Iran. Emphasizing Iran's interest in further developing relations with Azerbaijan across all sectors, Farzaneh Sadek highlighted the shared historical, cultural, religious and kinship bonds between the two nations. She also underscored the importance of holding the Intergovernmental Joint Commission meeting ahead of the planned visit of the President of Iran to Azerbaijan to discuss key issues on the agenda. The sides also exchanged views on the development of the North-South Transport Corridor, the construction of an automobile bridge connecting Ağband and Kelale over the Araz River, and other areas of mutual interest. An international forum on the theme Facing the New World Order was held on April 9th at Ada University with the participation of President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham Aliyev.
As it was already said, it's for the seventh time. The big group of international experts.
Noting that such events have been held several times, the head of state emphasized that regular visits of international experts to the liberated historical territories of Azerbaijan give more information about the history of our country, the history of the conflict, the current realities of Azerbaijan. President İlham Aliyev stressed that Azerbaijan has adopted declarations of strategic partnership with many countries, and thus this already established platform allows us to play an important role as a geographical, political, economic and transport bridge between the Central Asian region and Europe. The head of state noted that there are those in Europe who would prefer not only to separate Azerbaijan from this process, but also to draw dividing lines in the Caucasus, especially in the South Caucasus. Unfortunately, Armenia's occupation of Azerbaijani territories did not allow the South Caucasus to develop as more or less integrated region. We had all chances for this, President İlham Aliyev emphasized. However, the aggression, devastation and suffering of the Azerbaijani people did not allow this to happen. The South Caucasus has not been integrated, although it could have been from an economic point of view, in terms of transport roads, and of course, energy security. Armenia actually deprived itself of all this, the head of state said, stressing that as a result of occupation and aggression, it has actually deprived itself of the opportunity to become an important transit country for Azerbaijan's energy resources and transport roads. If an agreement is signed between Azerbaijan and Armenia, then of course there will be no obstacles to the start of cooperation, the head of state stressed, noting that he has already publicly stated many times what we expect from Armenia in terms of our territorial integrity and its constitution. All transit from Azerbaijan, including oil, gas and cargo, goes through Georgia, so Armenia could have been part of that process. It is their fault that they miscalculated their future development and sacrificed their economic future, their real independence, for the sake of this dream of Great Armenia, President İlham Aliyev stressed. And of course, as realists, we cannot imagine that we will immediately become friends with Armenia. It is unrealistic, and it's premature to even talk about economic integration. But we are ready to take small steps in confidence-building measures. President İlham Aliyev noted, stressing that there have been certain initiatives recently and the Azerbaijani side will wait for the position of the Armenian side, stressing that the strengthening of our military potential is fully understandable, especially considering the fact that a major process of militarization of Armenia is underway. The head of state said, the lethal weapons supplied to Armenians by their new allies do not contribute to peace and stability. It will only lead to potential tensions in the future, noting that the first successful reconciliation between Turkey and Israel was to some extent facilitated by Azerbaijan, which played an active role in trying to bring them closer. President Ilham Aliyev said Azerbaijan is a close friend of both countries, adding that we are allies with Turkey. Israel is also a friendly country of Azerbaijan. Therefore, any misunderstanding between the two countries is a matter of concern for us. Stressing that our way of conducting military operations has shown a very high level of our capabilities, the head of state noted that we have been victims of occupation for many years, and those who visit Karabakh even today can witness the level of barbarity that has been taking place there, stressing that the war was conducted in accordance with all international rules and was highly appreciated by all specialists. President Ilham Aliyev said that until a peace treaty is signed and Armenia completely renounces all territorial claims on Azerbaijan, which are still present in its constitution, and shows sincerity in its behavior to normalize relations with Azerbaijan, the threat of a new military confrontation will always exist. President Ilham Aliyev noted that the US-Azerbaijan relations during the Biden-Blinken administration can be described as relations in a crisis, stressing that we have always wanted to have good relations with the United States, which is the strongest country in the world. The current policy of the Trump administration will be based more on America's national interests, and I can note that very strong relations with them at the moment are important for this region, the head of state said, recalling that Azerbaijan is a leading country in the South Caucasus and part of the global South. President Ilham Aliyev also noted that we have strong positions in the online movement and good relations with Central Asian countries, stressing that we are an economically strong country with energy resources and an army that has proven its strength on the battlefield. President Ilham Aliyev added, therefore, we can be a very important partner for the United States. Referring to the COP29 held in our country, President Ilham Aliyev said that another important achievement during the COP was ensuring the functioning of the carbon market, on which no agreement could be reached. The agreement on this issue was reached in Azerbaijan during our chairmanship, thanks to the trust placed in us. Azerbaijan has always supported the Turkic-speaking world, cooperation between the states of the Turkic world, the head of state said, noting that we're united by historical and ethnic roots. There are similarities between our languages, our cultures and traditions are similar in many ways, he said, adding that we want this organization to be stronger and more result-oriented. Referring to the strategic importance of relations with Georgia and the historical ties that bind our nations, President Ilham Aliyev noted that Georgia and Azerbaijan have demonstrated friendship, partnership, and a high level of mutual understanding since the very beginning of their independence. Azerbaijan's dependence on international financial institutions has been completely eliminated, the head of state said. Noting that our cooperation with them has been completely stopped, President Ilham Aliyev said this shows that we do not need foreign investment financing. The head of state also noted active cooperation with Chinese companies, which are our partners in the production of green public transportation, and talks with some Chinese companies on direct investment in the green energy sector. President Ilham Aliyev also spoke about the expected visit of the Iranian president to Azerbaijan this month, which is important from the point of view of the development of bilateral relations and regional development. We want good relations with all our neighbors, including Iran. We have an extensive transport and economic agenda with Iran, the head of state said. President Ilham Aliyev also addressed the terrorist attack on our country's embassy in Iran, noting that 2 years have passed since the incident and the perpetrator has not yet been punished, the head of state said. For the full normalization of relations between our countries, it is necessary that this terrorist and those behind him stand trial and be punished. The steps taken by President Trump are very promising, but this is not the end. USAID is one of the giants and it's completely corrupt organization, President Ilham Aliyev said, noting that the activities of Radio Liberty and Voice of America have been suspended, but this is not enough. The head of state also pointed to need to stop the activities of such institutions as Human Rights Watch, Amnesty International, Transparency, which serve political enmity. Azerbaijan played an active role in helping the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus gain observer status in the Organization of Turkic States, President Ilham Aliyev said, stressing that Azerbaijan will always stand by Northern Cyprus so that this country establishes itself as an independent state and is recognized by the international community.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
At the invitation of Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan Ilham Aliyev arrived in Turkey for a working visit to attend the 4th Antalya Diplomacy Forum.
At Antalya International Airport, President Ilham Aliyev and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva were welcomed by Antalya Governor Hulusi Şahin and other officials.
On April 11th, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, met with Ersin Tatar, President of the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus, in Antalya.
During the conversation, the two leaders fondly recalled their previous meetings held in Azerbaijan and on the sidelines of international events, including President Ersin Tatar's participation in the informal summit of heads of state of the Organization of Turkic States held last year in Shusha. President Ilham Aliyev hailed the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus joining the Organization of Turkic States as an observer. Ersin Tatar expressed his gratitude to President Ilham Aliyev for the solidarity and support extended to the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus, as well as for the Azerbaijani leader's remarks made a few days earlier at the international forum held at Ada University. The presidents also discussed the organization of reciprocal visits at various levels and cooperation in multiple areas.
On April 11th, Ilham Aliyev, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, met with Recep Tayyip Erdogan, President of the Republic of Turkey, in Antalya.
During the meeting, the presidents praised the successful development of brotherly and allied relations between Azerbaijan and Turkey across all areas and discussed the prospects for bilateral ties. President Ilham Aliyev expressed his gratitude to the President of Turkey for the invitation to the Antalya Diplomacy Forum, describing the event as one of the leading global platforms for discussing significant issues on the international agenda. The heads of state also exchanged views on bilateral relations as well as the situation in the South Caucasus and Middle East regions.
President Ilham Aliyev met with Ahmed Al-Shara, interim president of the Syrian Arab Republic, on April 11th in Antalya. President Ilham Aliyev expresses satisfaction with the changes that have occurred in Syria and congratulated Ahmed Al-Shara on this occasion. The president stated that following these developments, an Azerbaijani delegation was promptly dispatched to Syria, and the Azerbaijani embassy, which had been closed for a prolonged period due to the policies of the Assad regime, has now resumed its operations. President Ilham Aliyev affirmed Azerbaijan's readiness to participate in the reconstruction efforts in Syria, which are crucial for consolidating stability within the country. Ahmed Al-Shara expresses gratitude to the president for Azerbaijan's support. He underscored the future importance of Azerbaijan's assistance to Syria in sectors such as energy, infrastructure and security. While affirming his dedication to restoring stability in Syria, Ahmed Al-Shara voiced his concern regarding the influence of external factors on this process. The discussion also touched upon the potential for developing a trilateral cooperation framework between Azerbaijan, Syria and Turkey. During the meeting, an agreement was reached to facilitate reciprocal visits by high-level official delegations and business representatives from both countries. The head of state extended an invitation to Ahmed Al-Shara to visit Azerbaijan. The invitation was gratefully accepted. The opening ceremony of the Antalya Diplomacy Forum was held on April 11th in the Turkish city of Antalya. President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva participated in the ceremony. The event commenced with an opening address by Turkey's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Hakan Fidan, who underlined the significance of the forum and noted the participation of numerous distinguished guests. Subsequently, President of the Republic of Turkey, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, delivered a speech emphasizing the importance of addressing current global challenges and highlighting the role of the forum in this regard. The Antalya Diplomacy Forum, one of the world's leading platforms for discussions on global challenges and solutions, brings together nearly 450 high-level representatives from 140 countries, including more than 20 heads of state and government and over 70 ministers. Over 50 sessions in various formats will be held during the forum, covering a wide range of topics such as global challenges and threats from the Middle East to the Asia-Pacific region, from Africa to Latin America, as well as key global issues including climate change, food security, digitalization, and artificial intelligence. On April 11th, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, met with Irakli Kobakhidze, Prime Minister of Georgia, in Antalya. Both sides emphasized the historically strong leadership and strategic partnership between Azerbaijan and Georgia during the meeting. Prime Minister Kobakhidze fondly recalled his working visit to Azerbaijan this January and his discussions with President Ilham Aliyev. He highlighted the ongoing efforts to expand cooperation between the two countries across various sectors, including trade, economy, culture, and others, and noted the progress achieved in implementing the instructions given to relevant government agencies. Kobakhidze also mentioned that President Ilham Aliyev's recent remarks regarding bilateral relations delivered during an international forum at Ada University were received with great interest in Georgia. The head of state stressed the importance of unity and solidarity between Azerbaijan and Georgia, particularly given the current global turbulence. He underscored the importance of ensuring that regional issues in the South Caucasus are resolved by the countries of the region themselves. Both leaders also exchanged their views on matters of mutual interest. President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, met with Abdel Fattah al-Burhan Abdelrahman al-Burhan, President of the Transitional Sovereignty Council of the Republic of Sudan, in Antalya on April 11th. The President of the Transitional Sovereignty Council of Sudan emphasized the historical ties between the two countries and described Azerbaijan as an important nation with significant influence both regionally and globally. Abdel Fattah al-Burhan Abdelrahman al-Burhan stated that Sudan attaches great importance to the development of relations with Azerbaijan in various areas. He also highlighted the good opportunities for cooperation between the two countries in sectors such as the mining industry, oil, energy, infrastructure, and investments. During the conversation, the two leaders also discussed collaboration in education and training. President Ilham Aliyev fondly recalled the participation of Abdel Fattah al-Burhan Abdelrahman al-Burhan in the 18th Summit of Heads of State and Government of the Non-Aligned Movement member countries in 2019 and the discussions held during that visit. The Azerbaijani leader lauded the steady progress in relations between Azerbaijan and Sudan since then. The meeting also included an exchange of views on organizing reciprocal visits by economic delegations to further expand bilateral relations, as well as cooperation within the non-aligned movement and other international organizations. On April 12th, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, met with Alain Berset, Secretary General of the Council of Europe, in Antalya. During their conversation, both parties expressed satisfaction as they recalled Alain Berset's visit to Azerbaijan during COP29 and his meeting with President Ilham Aliyev. They reaffirmed that important decisions regarding the global climate agenda had been adopted during COP29. The meeting included an exchange of views on the future prospects for relations between Azerbaijan and the executive bodies of the Council of Europe. On April 12th, the Antalya Diplomacy Forum held in the Turkish city of Antalya featured a panel session entitled Building the Future in a Fragmented World, Transformative Power of Education. First Lady of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Mehriban Aliyeva, along with her daughter Leyla Aliyeva, attended the event. Prior to the session, attendees visited the stand of the African Culture House. Founded in 2016 at the initiative of the Turkish First Lady Emine Erdogan, the African Culture House aims to promote the handicrafts of African women, transform their labor into economic value, and foster cultural solidarity. The event, supported by the Turkish Mari Foundation, began with a video presentation showcasing the foundation's work. The session highlighted the organization's global impact, noting that nearly 70,000 students are enrolled in the foundation schools across 55 countries. Panelists extensively discussed the critical importance of educational development in today's world. Turkey's First Lady Emine Erdogan delivered a speech emphasizing the heightened significance of education in an era marked by increased conflict. She stated that education is now more essential than ever for fostering social inclusion and achieving sustainable development. The session continued with students from the Turkish Mari Foundation School in Côte d'Ivoire performing songs in various languages. panel session proceeded with discussions. President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, concluded his working visit to Turkey on April 12th. At Antalya International Airport, President Ilham Aliyev and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva were seen off by Antalya Governor Hulusi Şahin and other officials. That was all for the week. Thank you for watching us and stay tuned not to miss the next edition of our program.